country of Burma-Myanmar is one filled with turmoil regarding the minority population of the Rohingya Muslims. Before starting, here are some facts one must know. The Mabata is an organization of Buddhists against Muslims. It is not government affiliated, although it does have a lot of support from the population. Burma-Myanmar was originally called Burma until military officials dubbed it Myanmar. Internationally, it is still recognized as both names. Burma-Myanmar also holds the longest civil war between Buddhists and Muslims. The table of contents shows the frameworks of genocide. The first framework of genocide analyzed is the amount of intergroup relations. This includes a record of discrimination and/or other human rights violations committed against a group inside the state. One example of this found in Burma was the colonization of Burma by the British in 1886. During this time, the British further divided the numerous ethnic minorities by favoring some groups, such as the Karen, for positions in the military and local rural administrations. During the anti-Muslim riots in Mandalay in 1997, Muslims were not given protection by the police. This quote was taken from a survivor of the riots. "First the soldiers told us, 'Do not do anything, we will protect you, we will save you.' So we trusted them," a 25-year-old survivor told HRW. "But later they broke that promise. The Arakanese beat and killed us very easily. The security did not protect us from them. Muslims who sought protection from anti-Muslim extremists were not given it. They were easily taken and beaten." Presence of illegal armed elements. As part of their civil war, Burma-Myanmar is home to over 15 fighting armed forces. The groups include the Karen National Liberation Army, the United Wa State Army. The Karen National Liberation Army is one of the oldest rebel armies in the world and was created in 1949. The KNLA is a military wing of the Karen National Union. Another popular group in Burma-Myanmar was created in 1989 and is known as the United Wa State Army. They formed shortly after the fall of the Communist Party Burma, which is one of the country's most powerful ethnic armies and receives military resources. Motivation of leading actors in the state or region. Inside of Burma-Myanmar, a man named Ashin Rathu is a Burmese Buddhist monk and the spiritual leader of the anti-Muslim movement in Burma. He is famous for his Facebook and other social media posts such as this one. This one states, "You can be full of kindness and love, but you cannot sleep next to a mad dog. If we are weak, our land will become Muslim." Rathu is most famous for posting a false accusation of a group of Muslims raping a Muslim Buddhist girl. The accusation was the cause for the anti-Muslim riots that occurred in 1997. This created a false depiction of the Muslim minority group and showed them as a dangerous group. Another issue in Myanmar is the mass amounts of propaganda against Muslims. Around the nation, you can see flyers and posters of alleged crimes committed by Muslim people. One thing that can make a genocide occur is circumstance. Circumstances can make a drop of unlike swell into an ocean of hatred. In Burma-Myanmar, there are two factions that perpetrated genocide and two laws set in place by the government, with support by the Mabata. The first law passed was the Race and Religion Protection Laws that were established in 2015. The laws were designed to stop Muslims having multiple wives, large families, and marrying Buddhist women, to halt what Ashin Murathu called an Islamic invasion of Myanmar. The second thing that could make genocide imminent is the second law that passed, called the Citizenship Act in 1982. This act revokes the citizenship of the Rohingya Muslims, which therefore discredit their connection to the country. The law opens up a pathway to discriminate against the Muslims. Genocidal acts. "No water for him. Let him die." This phrase was said in a horrifying moment where Burmese Buddhists set a fire to a Muslim man in riots which left 43 dead. They said this because the ideology of hatred is so ingrained, it starts to take the form of genocidal acts. Also, the Rohingya have been rounded up in camps where it is inhospitable to live in, effectively making them concentrated and easy to kill. Because people living there are not allowed to leave, the Rohingya are in a perpetual state of uncertainty and on the verge of death. The government has also revoked foreign aid from these areas to make dying even more imminent. Ashin Rathu, like mentioned before, has preached many times in what could be called hate speeches that the Muslims are bad and will destroy the Buddhists if they are allowed to live. With Rathu being a leader of the majority population, his speeches are evidence that Buddhists were want to hurt the Muslims and get rid of the invasions of Myanmar. Ashin Rathu also stated that he calls himself the Burmese bin Laden. Triggering factors. The main triggering factors include the burning and public hate towards the Rohingya and the revoking of Burmese citizenship. These actions both opened the door for persecuting the minority Muslims. The hate that had been welling up finally broke, and people were ready to take in that hate and direct it towards the Muslims. For the reasons listed above, such as the rounding up of the population in the Rakhine state and emerging violence, the country of Burma-Myanmar is in the preparation stage of genocide.